There are days that you earn and days that you learn. And today, school was in session. Let me tell you, I got lucky and I got my losses back plus 15-ish points. But today was a very frustrating day, to say the least. Um, I think the overall idea that I'd like to share is even if your context is good, you have to wait for the right timing or evidence that your context is going to be correct. So today, what happened? Look at this gap down from here all the way to here. So we're major gap down from yesterday's close. In my mind, I'm looking for another leg down. Specifically, this line right here is the 50% pullback of this movement. So ideally, I'm looking for a reversal at the 50% pullback, which is great. That makes sense. However, you cannot deny what is going on. And that's the hardest thing with trading, is staying fluid and not biased. So the other issue here is that on the daily chart, let me drag this over here. Oh, crap. If we look on this daily chart, what's the issue with that? The issue is that our overall context is a range. So on the daily, the bulls had this reversal bar. Then we ended yesterday with this ended 2 days ago with this doji. Then we have this bull reversal bar, but it's an inside bar. It broke above it. Now we're up to down. Okay. The issue is that we're still in a range. So just like the saying goes, there's always a bigger fish. There's always bigger context. And this is something I should have been very leery of, because not just to avoid heartache, but you can make money in both of these instances. So you could make money on the way up because it's going to try to come back up here, or you could have made money on the way down. So anyway, we're going to go over today's trades. I am not happy about these. So the first thing that I have to look at is I got tunnel vision very, very badly. So we had this range on the open. We had this breakout followed by really bad follow through. Or not really bad, just mediocre follow through. Followed by this bar right here. This is a high probability trade for at least a measured move up. And this is something else that I'm really going to be kind of focusing more on my trades rather than just waiting for wedges or double tops and bottoms. Also going on these higher probability trades. You're not going to make as much, risk to reward, but that's a high probability trade right there. And actually, and I'm not trying to just sound fancy, I almost put a limit order right here after this doji, because opened up bullish, big reversal, pretty much just whatever's going on here, a bunch of doji stars. We had this bear bar that could not close below the low of this bull bar, and then it's a failed breakout of this range. So we followed by a doji. So who's going to take over? Well, the bulls, probably. So that would have been a pretty low risk trade. If you would have gotten that trade, you could have made some money today. So I'm not advanced enough. So here we go. I'm looking, in my mind, I'm like, all right, first wedge, it's going to be a reversal. But what's the evidence say? The evidence says that we are in a tight bull channel, and the first reversal will be minor. But that doesn't matter. I just get tunnel vision and I go for it anyway. So I'm looking at a wedge, 1, 2, 3, and we have this bull bar or bear bar that closed on its low. And so I'm looking at, okay, here's my context. This is it. I'm going to make $1 million. So here's our leg down and our reversal. Now, is this context bad? No, it's not bad. But the timing is off. Just because you have a wedge and a 50% pullback does not mean that it's time to go short. You need clear evidence. When you have a tight channel like this, it has to go into I shouldn't say has to. Most likely, it has to go into a trading range to pump the brakes and then reverse. And we have to think of it like our train analogy. A train can't just go this direction and then reverse. It has to go, slow down, stop, and then start going this way. That's how reversals work most of the time, unless there's some crazy news or something like that. So if you see a strong trend, Don't just expect that trend to just drop off. You need clear, obvious evidence that it's going to happen. So I'm looking for 2 legs down. I'm like, yeah, this is great. We're going to come back down here, test the low. This is, maybe the high of the day. And I don't know what I was thinking. So what I was thinking was we're at 50% pullback. We're at resistance right here. This is a good spot for a reversal. However, look at this. Bull bar on its high, bull bar on its high, bull bar. And then we have this. Okay, this is good enough to get 2 legs up. You're going to get at least another leg up. So a little bit premature tradulation on that one. And, I mean, that was just an instant wipe. People were waiting. Ideally, you could have bought below that bar. Boom, I just get wiped out on that one. So I lost 5, we'll say 6 points on that. So I wasn't too happy about that one. So my next trade, here we go. I'm impatient again. And so I just lost on this trade, followed by... Now I got to talk about this for a sec. So I'm looking at 1, pullback 2, pullback 3. Is that a wedge? Yeah, that's a great wedge. And we have a bull bar closing on its high at the end of the channel. However, what am I doing? Look at this signal bar. I don't rely too heavily on signal bars, but at least wait for 2 bear bars closing on its low, or get a lower high or a higher high and then go for it. But we're still within this bull channel. I don't know what the heck I was thinking here, people. So this one was like an automatic. I don't even think I figured out what I was doing and before it just wiped me out. So rejection at EMA. Look at this gap. This is the other thing. Pay attention to gaps. So we have this gap here. That EMA is a magnet. You could have probably just bought at the open and you had a decent chance to get back at least to the EMA. Okay? But now look, the bulls are putting gap bars, meaning that they are pretty much in control. They're so much in control, a bear bar can't even get to it or close below it. So now look at this. We got major rejection. I should have just closed out above that. Got stopped out again. So I'm at 10 points right now. Not a good day. But I know that my context is right. Okay? This trade, I don't get upset too much if I lose on a trade and I understand why I lost. And at this moment, I did not understand why I lost this trade. These last few days, there's been like kind of a couple surprise bars, I guess, that I wasn't really anticipating. But here's what I did not understand. And this is why on this challenge, I'm trying to be aggressive so that I feel the pain. I'm bringing the pain to myself so that I can go deeper into understanding context. So what do we see here? Do we see any bars closing below the EMA? No. So now we have, it's going to turn into a 20 bar gap. So what that means is the bulls are so strong that they're hanging out above the EMA. So when there's a pullback below the EMA, you bet people are going to be buying. Now it's at discount. So we got a super strong trend going on here. And then boom, we break below the EMA. Well, you're going to want to test the high, the new high, before you come back down most likely. So people are going to be like, well, heck yeah, I'm buying that. We've been in the strong bull trend, holding bars above the EMA. If it drops below it, it's like on clearance. I'll buy that. So this one upset me pretty good because I felt like I had good context. So we have a wedge top here, 1, pullback 2, pullback 3. Came back down. Now we have another wedge top, 1, pullback 2, pullback 3. We failed to break out of this range. Now we have a bear bar closing on its low. Once again, I should have waited for a second bear bar closing on its low. You can avoid a lot of heartache if you do that, but you get FOMO. That's the reason why it happens. So here we go. We get in this trade, and I'm like, okay, great. I got 2 bear bars closing on their low, and I'm at least going to get a measured move down. However, look at this. We get this massive surprise bear bar, and I'm like, yes, this is it. They're giving up, and here comes our second leg down to where I can make $1 million. But look at this crap. This right after that. What the heck? So here we go. Gap. Look at all these gaps. Look, nothing closes above the EMA. The first close below EMA, people instantly bought it. That bar didn't go down one tick. And they instantly bought it. Okay, so that was my third. I actually had another trade, but I just got out break even. I think I sold like here, and then I got out right here or something. I'm stupid. So here's the big monster trade for today that saved my butt. So I forgot to mention on this trade, I went in 2 contracts. Because it was only 6 points, so pretty low risk. And I was pretty happy for about, I don't know, 15 seconds there. And then I was really trying to understand the reason of life altogether after that one. So here we go. Back to the long trade. So here is my context now. Strong, tight bull channel trading range. Big bull bar at the end, kind of towards the end of the trend, and we got 2 legs up. So 1, pull back 2. So we have 2 legs up. We vacuumed back to here. And now we have another wedge. 1, pull back 2, kind of pull back 3. So we have 3 different tops. Actually, I take that. I'm sorry. I counted this as the wedge. So 1, pull back 2, pull back 3. So we had overall wedge at the bottom of this breakout. So we just basically the whole day was working back to this breakout test spot. So I get into this trade, and I had 2 bars. An okay bear bar. So we had a doji, bearish doji, followed by this one. So I'm like, okay, I'll go ahead and go for it. I felt like we were at least going to come back to test this. So this is again one of those areas that I think everybody was kind of waiting, because they knew most likely when you have a gap like this is a big sign of strength. So you're most likely going to get 2 legs down. So I went into this trade, and I kind of was just like YOLOing it. I got a phone call from the school. My son has a mild fever. I had to go get him from school, so I just left it. And I told myself, in this specific challenge, I'm not going to move my stops. In this situation, I actually would have after this bar right here, because look, we have this wedge, 1, 2, 3. Now we have a H2 buy set up to try to go higher, but this is kind of getting late in the day. We did have this big gap down right here, so you always have to be thinking about the bigger context. So here's our small context type bull channel. What's our medium context? Well, our medium context is we had a major gap down today. Big time gap down. Okay, well, what's the even bigger context? Well, the bigger context is we're in a trading range. So this is an attempted breakout of this trading range. Well, we're going to come back and test the bottom of that trading range on the daily. So you really need to kind of always zoom out. So I got real close to getting stopped out here. I went to the gym at this point. Look at that. 1 freaking tick away from getting stopped out. So I was looking on my phone at the gym, and I thought I got stopped out, and that's bullcrap. I actually almost moved this like 2 more ticks up just because of this nonsense. So now we have a double top. Boom, boom. So what happens is, you can see, look at the volume that starts to pick up on this. The bars start getting pretty nasty. So now we have a breakout. So we have a double top. Our 2 legs are complete. We're at resistance. Test out of the breakout area. Now we're looking for our measure move down. So this late of the day, most likely, you've already seen the low of the day. But this is one of those situations that was an exception. So as I'm at the gym, I set it at 20 points, and I said YOLO. I didn't even care. Because I knew that if it came down to here without getting stopped out, we're most likely coming down here. Back to the open. So I was in on 2 contracts on this one, and I got right at 20 points, so 40 points. So I ended today, I made up for my losses, but look at this. Oh my gosh. Could have made, you know, I could just set it at the open and whatever. But those are the trades for today. Oh my gosh. Look at this. So we ended down here. I don't know what's going on now. Look at that. That makes me feel a lot better for my stupid trades. We did get our 2 legs down. It's going to come down here and touch it. Look at that. Right when I said that. That's great. Well, almost. So that's just something I'm working on is I need to have more confidence in my context and more patience in my entries. So anyway, I hope this helps. If you guys are actually watching the videos, please like it so I know that people are actually watching. I mean, I know I get views, but if this is actually helping someone, I need to know. So like or comment, and let me know what you think.